Sorry, this not my rules. Ooh, hold up. What if Thanos invaded the Earth in the first Avengers? With this whole squad, but the Avengers had the whole squad though, because with his army, that means all Avengers, including Carmitage, right, including Guardians, including like everybody else type B, that's Guardians. But so for just main squad, that's actually interesting. Look, if it's just main squad, like 6 Avengers versus him and Cole Obsidian, like his core. Well, that's OG Thanos though. That's him spry legs, bro. That's before he decimated a couple thousand planets just by hand. Remember, he was doing that shit by hand. Remember that? He was like coming off of killing planets one by one. Decimated half of them. Then he's like, this is taking too long. I need the stone. You know. Alright. Let's get the answer, twin. Damn. Alright, what if Thanos invaded Earth in the first Avengers?
What if events went differently? What if Thanos invaded directly in 2012 instead of waiting till Infinity War? How would this change the entire timeline of the MCU? Without wasting any more time, let's dive right into the highly requested MCU fanfiction. In this fanfiction reality, the Avengers were rallying in defense of New York City, with the Chitauri fleet being summoned by Loki with the Tesseract. A wormhole opened above Stark Tower, and Loki's invasion on Earth soon began. Elsewhere, aboard the Sanctuary 2, Gamora tells Thanos that she has returned from her mission and has acquired the location of the Soul Stone. The Soul Stone was located on the planet Vormir. In the original timeline, Gamora kept this as a secret as she was hesitant to agree with Thanos' genocide plan. However, in this reality, Gamora wanted to impress her father even further and told her of the plan. With the knowledge of the location of the Soul Stone known to Thanos, Thanos told the Black Order, Gamora, and Nebula that they will be invading Earth instead of waiting around for Loki. Thanos said that he could not trust the God of Mischief to hand him the Space Stone and the Mind Stone. At New York, the Avengers were battling the Chitauri while evacuating the civilians. Just then, another dark portal emerged. Tony was unsure as he thought that the entire fleet of Loki's army has arrived. Even Thor was uncertain. They saw a huge spaceship emerging from the portal alongside with other mini spaceships, which were Q ships that were hosting Thanos' army. Thanos, Gamora, Nebula, and the Black Order arrived at New York. The Avengers regrouped again, and Loki was shocked to see that the Mad Titan himself has arrived. Loki then approached Thanos and asked why he came so soon. Thanos replied that he has all the answers he needed to...
So he's... Okay, right now he wasn't recapping the events of the first Avengers? Like, he was adding new shit? Like, what if it happened right then? Okay, hold up. Okay.
Complete his gauntlet, and that he couldn't trust Loki to complete the job. Loki tried to bargain with Thanos, but Thanos was aware of the God of Mischief's capabilities. Loki attempted to trick Thanos by projecting a false image of himself, pleading to Thanos for a second chance. While he went behind Thanos to stab him with his dagger, Thanos knew that this would happen, and Gamora struck Loki down before he could. Thanos...
Oh, Gamora with the squad too, and Nebula? No, that's actually crazy.
And grabbed Loki by the neck and choked him to death in front of the Avengers. The Avengers were horrified that Loki was easily killed by Thanos.
That's crazy, because they were trying to copy this the whole time. Oh, I know Thor Hulk's gonna be pissed. And these are baby Avengers, right? First time really warming up, right? This is not their like peak shit, so dang.
Thanos then declared himself as the savior of the universe, because when all of his stones are completed, he would be able to restore balance to the universe by snapping the stones. Complete then declared himself as the savior of the universe, because when all of his stones are completed, he would be able to restore balance to the universe by snapping the stones. Captain America refused to believe his statement, and the Avengers fought briefly against the Black Order, Gamora, and Nebula. Just then, Nick Fury received information that the world's...
Thanos, Black Order, Gamora, and Nebula, bro. That's a squad.
Security Council attempted to end the invasion by launching a nuclear missile
Okay. Oh yeah.
at Midtown Manhattan. Fury told Iron Man of this, and Tony went to intercept the missile. Knowing that there isn't much that can be done to salvage this, he told the Avengers that they would need to retreat first, as a nuke is coming their way. Thanos grabbed Loki's scepter and removed the Mind Stone from it before putting it on his gauntlet. With his Outriders ravaging New York, Thanos went to retrieve the Tesseract, and that shut down the wormhole which was bringing forth the Chitauri army. With now the Mind Stone and Space Stone at hand, Thanos said that their mission on Earth has been completed. He told his minions to retreat first while they retrieve all of the other stones.
Okay.
Tony managed to intercept the nuclear missile, which was heading down Manhattan, and he threw it into Thanos' spaceship. The nuke destroyed several of Thanos' Q ships, but it wasn't enough to destroy his main spaceship, the Sanctuary 2. The spaceship then shot back up to space and disappeared. New York was left in ruins, and the Avengers were beaten badly. They lost
That's crazy.
the Space and Mind Stone, and there is a bigger threat to the universe known as Thanos. Nick told the Avengers to regroup first. As Gamora was on Thanos' side the whole time, the Guardians of the Galaxy were never formed, as they never met each other. Thanos then dispatched Ronan to retrieve the Power Stone on the planet Morag. However, he did not inform Ronan that he has already acquired 2 of the other stones from Earth, the Mind and Space Stone. As in the original timeline, Ronan managed to acquire the Power Stone after he retrieved as in the original time 2 of the other stones from
This is before he got tan. This is before he went to a couple planets and blasted
Earth, the Mind and Space Stone. As in the original timeline, Ronan managed to acquire the Power Stone after he retrieved it from Taven, who originally held the stone and the orb. Ronan first contacted Thanos that with the Power Stone, he would kill Thanos after
Look at that lineup, bro.
destroying the planet Xandar. Aboard his flagship, Ronan was about to embed the Power Stone on his Warhammer before Thanos used the Space Stone and emerged behind him. Ronan was shocked to see Thanos at his spaceship, and Thanos told him that he was betrayed by Loki and knew that Ronan was untrustworthy. With 2 stones at his hand, his conquest on the rest of the stones is imminent. Gamora and Nebula then stabbed Ronan, killing him, before Thanos put the Power Stone on the gauntlet. 3 in his possession and around 3 to go. The Time, Soul, and Reality Stone.
That's crazy.
Meanwhile, a year has already passed since the invasion on Earth, and Thor has returned to Asgard and consulted his father Odin about what happened to Loki and on Earth. The events of the Dark World would
bro, who the fuck is Thanos?
play out the same, almost like the original timeline, with Jane Foster being infected with the Ether, and Thor would battle with Malekith. The only difference is that Loki would not aid Thor in his battles, as he was already killed by Thanos. Thor managed
He for real died then.
to transport Malekith to Svartalfheim, where he is crushed by his own damaged ship. Thor said he would be wise to entrust the Ether to the Collector's care, as Thanos might come searching for it should the Ether be left on Asgard. Odin told Thor that soon they will get their revenge on Thanos for the death of Loki. On Earth, Age of Ultron's storyline and vision did not happen due to the absence of the Mind Stone. Wanda and Pedro would not have been exposed to the energy from the scepter, meaning Age of Ultron they will get their revenge on Thanos for the death of Loki. On Earth, Age of Ultron's storyline and vision did not happen due to
No Vision or Scarlet Witch or Pietro.
the absence of the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
Wanda and Pedro would not have been exposed to the energy from the scepter, meaning that they would still remain as normal beings. Bucky would still appear in this timeline as the Winter Soldier, and in the timeline it would still play out the same. However, this time there wouldn't be the Sokovia Accords, as Sokovia was not involved in any way. Thanos now has already acquired the Power, Mind, and Space Stone. Just as in the original timeline, in Avengers Infinity War, Thanos traveled to nowhere after knowing that the Reality Stone was stored there. Earlier, after the Warriors 3 handed the Ether to the Collector, they placed a special beacon near it that would trigger should anyone who attempts to remove it. With Thanos approaching, the beacon ended up triggering in Asgard. Thor said that he had waited for years to have his revenge on Thanos. However, Thor here does not have the Stormbreaker, but he instead has
Look at that. It looked like it's part of it. That is so tough, bro.
which was still intact. Odin dispatched Thor and the Warriors 3 and the Royal Asgardian Knights to defend the Reality Stone. As Thor arrived at nowhere, he saw Thanos trying to retrieve the Reality Stone. Thor then charged towards Thanos while Gamora and
I'm trying to make this image. Alright, he was at nowhere.
was trying to retrieve the Reality Stone. Thor then charged towards Thanos while Gamora and Nebula fought with the Warriors 3.
Okay. So they came to... Okay. So Warriors 3 there fighting against Nebula and Gamora. Because they were just... So the second they dropped it off, the alarm went off, type B? And then that's how Thor got the alarm?
Thor continued pummeling Thanos with his hammer and eventually was about to pin down Thanos.
Whoa.
He told Gamora and Nebula to stand down as he has the upper hand. Thor then took Mjolnir and smashed Thanos' face until he pulverized him. Gamora and Nebula merely watched in horror as this unfolded. Thor said that his revenge for Loki is finally achieved. However, just then, Thor and the Warriors 3 heard Thanos laughing. The entire scenery at nowhere changed, meaning that Thanos has already acquired the Reality Stone earlier. Nowhere was burning with flames and was completely annihilated. Thanos said that he merely used the Space Stone to instantly teleport and retrieve the Reality Stone. He then disappeared with
It's too hard, bro. It's too hard.
Gamora and Nebula. Thor screamed in agony and vowed that this isn't over yet. Thor then returned to Earth and told the Avengers that Thanos has gotten 4 of the stones. It is just a matter of time before he acquires all of the rest of the stones.
They shot us with like a 12K, 16K camera, bro. I don't know what they did.
In this timeline, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Vision were non-existent due to the stones being in Thanos' possession from the start. They knew that they needed to stop Thanos before it was too late. Tony then got help from Spider-Man. The Avengers knew of all of the stones and their capabilities.
So no Civil War is crazy in the MCU storyline. That's insane. But this is no
except the help from Spider-Man. The Avengers knew of all of the stones and their capabilities except the time and the Soul Stone. Thanos
y'all see your theory that Tony made Spider-Man
knew of all of the stones
because like theory is like, you know, Spider-Man bitten by radioactive spider, but like this MCU, this Marvel universe, who made that radioactive spider, right? Could have been Tony in one of his labs, right? One of his laboratories, right? So that could make sense right there. Or because, like, he was working with Bruce Banner and he has all that gamma radiation, right? What if they were fucking around trying to find a cure or something like that with his blood? You know, much something with spiders type beat. You know, that spider got loose that bit him. And what if he made Spider-Man in the MCU? That's crazy. That's crazy. It couldn't happen. And it's crazy enough to make sense, bro. Like, what? Might have, bro. That's tough. And somebody else said, yeah, that's why he was keeping tabs on him, because he knew he was at the lab. He knew that shit. I was like, oh, that's crazy. That's why he knew this happened. But this vid, that's crazy.
Capabilities except the time and the Soul Stone. Thanos decided that the last stone to acquire would be the Time Stone. He knew that there was a powerful guardian on Earth that had the Time Stone acquired. Thanos decided to travel to Vormir to acquire the Soul Stone. There he met the Red Skull, who was the protector of the Soul Stone. Thanos went to Vormir with Nebula and Gamora. Red Skull told Thanos that he can only acquire it by sacrificing someone he loves. Being conflicted, Thanos said that he can only acquire it by sacrificing someone he loves. Being conflicted, Thanos then sacrificed Gamora and acquired the Soul Stone.
How did they know it was Vormir there? How did they know where it was? The Soul Stone. Did you explain it?
He knew that in the Soul Stone. The Avengers knew of all of the stones and their capabilities except the time and the Soul Stone. Thanos decided that the last stone to acquire would be the Time Stone. He knew that there was a powerful guardian on Earth that had the Time Stone acquired. Thanos decided to travel to Vormir to acquire the Soul Stone. There he met the Red...
How did he know that? Exactly. But, So the Ancient One, Odin, Thanos, Hela, we weren't crazy ones, bro. Ooh, Shang-Chi, his pops, with Hela, Thanos, the Ancient One, and Odin. That crazy shit. Antho.
Skull,
OG
who was the
ones.
protector of the Soul Stone. Thanos went to Vormir with Nebula and Gamora. Red Skull told Thanos that he can only acquire it by sacrificing someone he loves. Being
Nebula's like,
conflicted,
"Alright, you don't
Thanos
love
then
me, then
sacrificed
I can
Gamora
be-
and acquired the Soul Stone.
That's
This
crazy,
angered
bro.
Nebula as she felt that
Oh,
Thanos loved
what-
Gamora
what guy
more
did this
till
shit?
the end. She asked Thanos why
Yeah.
he didn't felt that Thanos loved Gamora more till the end. She asked
don't want that
Thanos
guy.
why he didn't sacrifice her, and he merely said that she was always second to Gamora. Nebula held her anger back and realized that there was no point in helping her father if Gamora was already dead. She always wanted to prove to Thanos that she is the better daughter, but with Gamora gone, it was pointless. Thanos then told the Black Order and Nebula that they will now finally head back to Earth. Black Panther offered to help the Avengers after he learned of the threat that Thanos brings. He agreed to provide assistance in terms of technology and Wakanda. In this timeline, S.H.I.E.L.D. was already compromised, meaning that S.H.I.E.L.D. was gone. Tony told the World Security Council and General Thunderbolt Ross about the danger of Thanos. They dispatched armies around the world to help combat Thanos, and Tony himself has created his own version of Iron Legion. Just then, at the Avengers headquarters, there was a breach in their systems. They saw that there was an intruder who surrendered herself at the entrance. It was none other than Nebula herself. To help combat Thanos and Tony danger of Thanos. They dispatched armies around the world to help combat Thanos, and Tony himself has created his own version of Iron Legion.
Really, he did.
Just then, at the Avengers headquarters, there was a breach in their systems. They saw that there was an intruder who surrendered herself at the entrance. It was none other than Nebula herself. The Avengers arrested and interrogated her. Nebula then revealed all the stones and how he sacrificed his own daughter to acquire the Soul Stone. The Avengers were reluctant to listen to her, but then she
Nebula's
told
always
them
good at
that
heart.
she knows the final location of the stone, which is the Time Stone on Earth. Based on what she knows, the Time Stone is guarded by the Ancient One, a powerful sorcerer that even Thanos himself fears, which was why he waited till the end to get his stones. However, with Thanos having all the stones except this stone, he will be much stronger and could overpower all of them. Nebula said that the only way they could win is if they have the help of Odin and the Ancient One.
See, bro?
Tony, Peter Parker, and Steve decided to track down the Ancient One while Thor went back to Asgard to seek help from his father. Thor told Odin of the imminent Tony, Peter Parker, and Steve decided to track down the Ancient One while Thor went back to Asgard to seek help from his father. Thor told Odin of the imminent doom that Thanos brings to the universe. Odin said that he is no longer as strong as he used to be, and that if he does help them, Asgard will be in danger of destruction. Tony, Peter, and Steve eventually tracked down the Ancient One and told her of Thanos. The Ancient One declined to help at first, as she said that there was an even bigger threat to all of the dimensions than Thanos, which was Dormammu himself. If Dormammu would be unleashed, nobody, even Thanos himself, would survive. They then saw a portal appearing, and
Shit, they both got top ops.
Thanos and his entire which was Dormammu himself. If Dormammu would be unleashed, nobody, even Thanos himself, would survive. They then saw a portal appearing, and Thanos and his entire army has arrived. The trio knew that they cannot get the help of the Ancient One, then they merely have to survive on their own. The Avengers, including Nebula and the Wakandians and the World Security Council, then fought against the Black Order. Thanos and his armies, a full battle happened in New York once again. As the Avengers were losing out to Thanos, just then a powerful blast of as the Avengers were losing out to Thanos, just then a powerful blast of the Outriders and Chitauri wiped out almost half of Thanos' army. Everyone saw Odin alongside the Valkyrie and the Royal Asgardian Knights charging forward across the Bifrost.
Yo! With the with the Bifrost joint. Odin, Valkyrie, and all the warriors, bro.
Even the Warriors 3 were there. Thor was glad that reinforcements had finally arrived. Thanos knew that he had to find the Ancient One quick to acquire the Time Stone. The Ancient One appeared on the battlefield and shot several mystical bolts at him, wounding him. Tony was surprised to see her helping and asked her why. She merely replied that although she only deals with mystical threats, but anyone who attempted
this nigga just kind of big. I ain't gonna hold it.
That
like, there's no reason this nigga CGI. You can find a nigga like this at most gyms. Like, what? It's just the height though. He's 8, like what, 7, 8 feet? That's it. But this build at like 6.5 feet, 6, yes. Easy.
Was surprised to see her helping and asked her why. She merely replied that although she only deals with mystical threats, but anyone who attempted to steal the Eye of Agamotto is also a great threat. Thanos fought against Odin and the Ancient One while the Avengers were occupied with the Black Order and Thanos' goons. Thanos then used the Power Stone to lift Stark Tower before sending it crashing onto Odin and the Ancient One. After an intense battle between them, Odin and the Ancient One managed to restrain Thanos while the Valkyrie held him down. Tony blasted tons of missiles to weaken Thanos while Thor struck multiple lightning bolts on Thanos. Thanos then used the Space Stone to teleport himself alongside Tony, Captain America, and the Ancient One, and Odin across various places to battle with them. Every time he was being conquered, he would then use the Space Stone to bring the battle to his advantage. Eventually, he was left to face Odin and the Ancient One back in New York City. Thanos then used the Power Stone to amplify his strength and punched the Ancient One, knocking her off when she attempted to bring him into the mirror dimension. Odin knew that he needed to stop Thanos as the Ancient One was lying injured badly. He then decided to use the Odin Force to stop Thanos once and for all. The Odin Force was unleashed from Odin's spear Gungnir, and Thanos was weakened badly. The Avengers used the opportunity to remove the gauntlet from Thanos. Odin then stumbled and fell to the ground, holding his stomach. Apparently, during the battle earlier, Thanos managed to stab open Odin's stomach with the sword. However, the sword was amplified with the Power Stone, injuring Odin further. Tony decided that since the gauntlet was too hard to remove from Thanos, he decided to create a huge blade and slice it off of Thanos' hand. With the gauntlet gone from Thanos' hand and the Ancient One still guarding the Time Stone safely, Thanos was unable to produce the snap. Thanos was injured badly from the Odin Force and attacks from the Avengers. Thor then used all of his force and directed it from the hammer before striking a heavy blow on Thanos. He then lifted Thanos' sword before stabbing him and beheading him off. The Black Order was also defeated by the rest of the Avengers and the Valkyries. Thanos' goons then started retreating before multiple bombardments of their spaceships by the military, and the Iron Legions killed them all. Odin laid down and told Thor that he would not be able to make it out alive as he was already dying before he came to Earth. Using the Odin Force absorbed most of his remaining life force. Odin said that the graver threat to them is about to happen once he gets back, and Ragnarok is imminent. Thor was puzzled at first and saw as Odin disappeared into the air in Valhalla. The Avengers took hold of the gauntlet that had the 5 stones. They were uncertain on what to do with them. Thanos and the Black Order were killed while most of his minions have been wiped out with the bombs. Just then, they felt a shivering run down their spines. A portal opened near where Steve was holding the gauntlet. Hela, the first child of Odin, appeared from the portal and said that Odin's passing has released her seals from her prison and now she is free. She said that Odin did not continue to expand the 9 realms and imprison her when he felt that she was too much for him. However, with now Odin has passed on, she can continue his legacy. Thor threw his hammer at her before she easily crushed it like the original timeline. She grabbed a hold of the gauntlet that contained the Infinity Stones before crushing the gauntlet with her bare hands. Hela told the rest of them that Ragnarok is imminent and these so-called Infinity Stones are nothing but child's play. The Avengers and the Ancient One watched as Hela resurrected her undead army from the ground. Hela then proclaimed that the conquest of the other realms will begin, starting with Midgard, and that is going to be what if Thanos came to Earth and invaded in 2012. That was an intense and highly requested fan fiction. I think this is probably one of the best, if not the best fan fictions that I've ever done in a very long time. I think the storyline was very well written. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I did a really good job tying in a lot of the things. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about it, and if you guys want to see more, do make sure to request in the comments down below, because I will be taking a ton of more requests. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe, like, share, and turn your notifications on so you and your friends are all up to date with the latest content. But anyways, as always, guys, thanks for tuning in, and have an amazing day.
Bro, that was crazy. Yo, nah, that was actually really tough. Yo. Dang. Cause yeah, he died. Hela comes out. And then she just takes the gauntlets like they nothing? The stones? That's crazy how powerful she is. Damn. And yeah, cause he believes the Odin Force. Oh, and then and Ragnarok. Oh, that was so good, bro. What?